What's up everybody? Welcome back to 16 Fix for another Collection Outlook video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the Book of Boba Fett, the upcoming Disney Plus series. And here we go again. If the Book of Boba Fett is anywhere near as successful as Mandalorian was, either Season 1 or Season 2, we're going to be getting so many figures from Hot Toys for this show. Now as a reminder, the Collection Outlook videos are intended to give you some insight into what I'm doing with my collection, to get the wheels turning on what you can do with your collection, how you can be a little more selective in terms of pre-ordering or keeping your eye on certain releases. Because if you're anything like me, you can't afford to get everything, either space-wise or for financial reasons, so you really got to be selective. The first figure that we're going to talk about, and there's two that have already been announced that are either directly related to The Mandalorian or directly from the series. So we're going to start off with Fennec Shand, first and foremost. I think this figure looks really great. I'm a big fan of the character and of the actress. I think the head sculpts, the tailoring, the accessories are all spot on. The price is just about standard with what you're seeing with Hot Toys today. All that being said, this one is a wait for me. Given that it was announced prior to the show premiering, I almost feel like this could be a Spider-Man black and gold suit scenario where there's so many figures coming out. They kind of push this one to the front to get people to pre-order. Yes, it was already teased, and yes, this is technically the same look from the post-credit scene of The Mandalorian Season 2. But this one, I'm just going to have to wait to see how many figures we get and if she needs to be added, and also if I'm getting the next figure that we're going to talk about. For this next figure, I'm going to bring on my co-host from the She Said No podcast. Gigi, say hi.
Hi.
All right, so what we're going to be discussing is the Boba Fett repaint armor and throne. Yes, that is a mouthful. Okay, Gigi, I'm showing you the pictures for the first time. What do you think?
Is that what Boba Fett looks like?
You don't remember from The Mandalorian that this is what his face looked like?
I don't think that he ever took off his mask.
In The Mandalorian? Oh, you didn't see all the episodes,
yeah,
though.
Maybe not.
Dang, you're a freaking
wow.
casual. You're a casual Star Wars fan.
No, this has just shattered the glass.
So,
oh, wow.
Okay, so this one is cool because it comes with that head sculpt, right? And the throne,
Is it cool?
which is...
That head sculpt is kind of...
Well, he's disfigured because of what he's gone through. You will find out in the Book of Boba Fett, but...
Oh, spoiler. I would want to put the mask back on. I want to pretend like he's hot.
He is hot. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, no, he's not. Look at him.
Okay, well, agree to disagree on that. All right, so if you recall, any other thoughts? What do you think of the throne?
It's cool. Whatever.
The throne is whatever, so that adds no value to you whatsoever?
I don't like... I mean, they're cool, but in some of them I feel like it's just too bulky.
The throne...
Like your what's this stone called?
The Wakanda throne in Black Panther. Yeah, you're right. There are space considerations for these larger, items. But that being said, this one's like pretty unique. Okay, so if you recall from the last episode, we changed our rating system for you. Mm-hmm. Would you replace this figure with another one that I already have in the collection?
Well, you already have him.
I already have Boba Fett. Yeah, this is a different era though.
It's just
that's
black.
Empire Strikes Back.
Outfit is black.
No, that's not true. There's other things about it. The paint is different. There's lots of differences. I won't get into describing those to you, but
no, I wouldn't get this. You already have this.
Okay, so because I have the Empire Strikes Back, I already have it in your mind, and you wouldn't replace it with that figure or any other.
No.
Okay, so let me give.
Does he have a cape?
He doesn't have a cape. Yeah, no, he has a jetpack though. No. So that's sick as fuck. Okay, so let me give everyone some insight into what I'm thinking on this figure. I was planning on getting the what is affectionately known as the bird shit Boba Fett version from The Mandalorian, where he's got a lot of the battle damage, and just the regular, the non 2-pack, the non-deluxe version that doesn't come with the head sculpt. With the thought that they're going to be releasing a ton of different Boba figures, and I would get another one with a head sculpt down the line. Gigi is looking at me very funny while I'm saying this, but so this one really speaks to me. Number one, because I love the throne. Like we were saying earlier, I've got the Black Panther throne, and I think that's phenomenal. And I think this is like a really cool accessory. And I think the fact that he comes with a head sculpt adds that value, right? Like I could pose now the other version with this head sculpt and have this guy with the helmet on sitting on the throne. Gives you a lot of display options. That being said, that was all a mouthful, but this one is going to be a wait for me, only because we might see a bunch of different looks for Boba in this series, or at least another look that doesn't have this kind of dad bod skirt look to it. So yeah, this one will be a wait. We're going to finish this video talking about a few characters that might pop up in this show and we might get figures for from Hot Toys. Now, if this series ends up being as successful as Mandalorian, or even close to that, we know what they did with that line. They went all in, and there's additional characters they've teased and haven't put up for pre-order, or that folks are still clamoring for. So we're really going to try to shrink it down to just a handful. I do have the benefit of having seen the first episode. I won't include any spoilers here, but I think that fans are in for a treat, and there's plenty of fan service, and every inch of the show really could warrant figures. So we just have to see, have to be patient, and have to be selective. Let's start off with Ahsoka Tano. Now, Rosario Dawson feels pretty likely to show up in this show at some point, given that they'd want to tie into The Mandalorian as much as possible. And she's also launching her own solo show in the near future. Now, I have no idea how she may tie into this plot, given that it's a bit more grounded Godfather-style feel, but it would be really interesting to see that character pop up again. And she will start becoming one that we've got to be really careful with, because we've got the Clone Wars version, we've got the Mandalorian version, maybe a version from this show, and then obviously from her solo show. So we could be getting a lot of Ahsoka in the very near future. Next, let's talk about the Hutt clan. Now, I'm thinking we might get a flashback with Jabba the Hutt, so we can juxtapose how he used to rule versus how Boba Fett is planning on ruling. If we don't get that, I could also envision another member of the Hutt clan showing up, since there's kind of this power vacuum right now, and we've got the technology now to fully realize what a member of the Hutt family may look like versus what we've seen already in the Clone Wars. The third character we're going to talk about today is Hondo Anaka. Now, the reason I bring this up, we know from the Galaxy's Edge Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run that he's still alive during that period. We've got a good sense of what he might look like in live action. And so this character, as we dive into the scum and villainy aspects of Star Wars, seems like he could fit in very well. And of course, Dave Filoni having included him in Clone Wars and Rebels, it seems like it's a little too perfect for him to show up. Now we're going to talk about upgrades to Boba Fett's armor. It just seems like it's going to happen in the show, and that can come in many shapes and sizes. We've already got 2 figures from The Mandalorian. Who knows what's going to happen with his armor in this particular version. I'd be really interested in seeing the concept art, the all white. That seems like it would be a really fitting way to bring this character kind of full circle. We don't know if we're going to see him again. I would count on us seeing him again, but it just feels like him shedding all the way to the past and going to that pure white would just be perfect. And it would be a figure that I'd be very interested in, to be honest. All right, last, and this is a bit of a cheat, but let's talk about bounty hunters. Now, it feels like a safe bet that we will get plenty of folks from Boba's past showing up. I would count on us seeing Bosk, but I wouldn't be shocked if we saw plenty of old and maybe new bounty hunters. Man, this would get really tricky because the bounty hunters are some of my favorite from the series. And if we released a lot of figures from, that subsect of the universe, it could get dangerous really fast. I would be very interested in a Bosk figure. Any of the IG units, those figures don't necessarily interest me too much, but if we saw some cool and unique designs, oh boy, this is getting tricky. And we're not even talking about all the Trooper repaints, Tusken Raider repaints we might see, all the other figures that Hot Toys might go into. This concludes our collection outlook video for the Book of Boba Fett. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and listen to our other content, such as the She Said No podcast and other collection outlook videos for other series. The next one I'll likely do are for some upcoming Marvel and DC properties. Really looking forward to those, and we'll catch you on the next one.